For years, K-pop has been viewed as a massive hit-making machine, songs exploding immediately after release, fandoms dominating streaming platforms within hours, and charts constantly shaken by record-breaking debuts. But what is happening now with BTS and Jennie suggests something far more significant. K-pop has entered a new era, one where success is no longer measured only by explosive first-week numbers, but by the ability to survive and grow inside the global music ecosystem over time. BTS reclaiming #1 on Billboard's global Excl US chart with Swim and Jennie unexpectedly entering the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100 with Dracula are not just isolated achievements. They are proof that K-pop artists are gradually escaping the fandom music stereotype and entering the realm of long-term mainstream dominance previously reserved for Western superstars. What makes both stories fascinating is that neither followed the traditional K-pop formula. BTS did not rely on a short-lived explosion. Jennie did not achieve her success through a temporary viral moment. Instead, both are demonstrating something far more powerful: sustained growth over time. Swim, the song that refused to die after week 1. In the streaming era, many songs peak during their debut week before rapidly disappearing. This pattern has been especially common in K-pop, where fandoms often concentrate all their energy during comeback periods to break records. But BTS's Swim is following a completely different trajectory. The title track from the group's fifth full-length album Arirang not only returned to #1 on Billboard's global Excl US chart, but also held #2 on the Global 200 several weeks after release. More importantly, the album Arirang has remained inside the top 10 of the Billboard 200 for 7 consecutive weeks, a clear reflection of stable public consumption rather than temporary hype. This is the point where the music industry started paying serious attention. For years, BTS was often dismissed by critics as an act heavily dependent on fandom power, with limited long-term mainstream impact in Western markets. However, Swim is proving the opposite. The song is no longer surviving purely on fan-driven streaming campaigns, it is behaving like a genuine international hit. In other words, BTS are no longer competing only within the K-pop market. They are competing directly against global pop artists. What makes BTS particularly interesting at this stage is how they are reshaping their music strategy. While the group previously became known for high-energy, performance-heavy releases, Swim embraces a softer structure, broader accessibility, and a distinctly global pop sound. It no longer feels like a song engineered solely to dominate fandom metrics, it feels designed for longevity on worldwide playlists. That difference is enormous. Jennie and Dracula, when a song slowly conquers America. If BTS are demonstrating the power of an already established global group, Jennie is opening another chapter entirely, a K-pop soloist capable of operating like a Western pop star. Dracula is an extremely rare case in modern K-pop. The track was released last October, yet only months later did it enter the top 10 of Billboard's Hot 100. In today's music industry, where TikTok can push songs to the top overnight before they disappear the following week, the slow but steady rise of Dracula is highly unusual. But that very unusual pattern is what makes the industry pay attention. According to many chart analysts, songs that gradually climb over time often enjoy much longer lifespans than short-lived viral hits. They slowly gain radio support, receive stronger playlist placement, and most importantly, attract genuine public listeners. This carries enormous significance for Jennie. For years, Blackpink members have faced criticism claiming their solo success relied mainly on the group's massive brand power. But Dracula is beginning to dismantle that narrative. The song's continuous growth over several months proves Jennie possesses more than just a powerful fandom, she has real mainstream appeal among international listeners. In other words, Jennie is no longer simply a Blackpink member going solo. She is now being consumed by the market as an independent global pop artist. Blackpink has moved beyond its own shadow. Perhaps the most intimidating development for the K-pop industry is not simply how famous BTS or Blackpink have become, but the fact that their individual members are now functioning as separate global brands powerful enough to compete on their own. Rose previously made major waves on the Billboard Hot 100. Now Jennie is pushing even deeper into the chart's upper tier. This proves Blackpink no longer operates under the traditional idol group model. They are evolving into an ecosystem of superstars. Each member now possesses a distinct audience, unique musical identity, and independent global influence. This is a level previously reached only by legendary Western groups such as One Direction or Destiny's Child. K-pop has traditionally thrived on collective strength. But BTS and Blackpink are now entering a post-traditional K-pop era, one where artists can simultaneously maintain group power while developing fully independent global careers. That transition is extraordinarily difficult. K-pop history is filled with groups that failed to produce successful solo careers. Group success never automatically guaranteed that individual members could survive independently in international markets. Yet BTS and Blackpink are now proving otherwise. They are no longer simply exporting Korean music. They are exporting individual cultural icons. K-pop is changing the rules of the global music industry. Years ago, Billboard was considered nearly impossible territory for Asian artists. The American chart system operated through radio dominance, playlist influence, and highly localized tastes. But now BTS and Jennie are proving that K-pop is no longer standing outside that system. More importantly, they are not winning through temporary curiosity. They are winning through longevity. A song returning to #1 after several weeks. A track released last year suddenly breaking into the Hot 100's upper ranks months later. These developments reflect a fundamental transformation in how global audiences consume K-pop. International listeners are no longer treating K-pop as interesting foreign music. They are consuming it as mainstream pop music. And that may be the industry's greatest victory of all. Perhaps the most astonishing part is that neither BTS nor Jennie appears close to reaching their ceiling yet. If K-pop continues learning how to create songs with long-term staying power instead of relying solely on explosive debuts, the industry may soon enter an era of true global domination. No longer just a wave, but a completely new order in global pop music.